Yeah.
Who wants to start?
Well, Kaitlyn, we all knew you were a scorer at Princeton, and I don't know how you'll describe your adjustment here that you haven't shot the ball as often as you have. Has that, what's that adjustment been like, and does that change a little bit as long as Paige is out and going on even when she returns?
Yeah, I feel like we have I'm surrounded by such great players here. There's never really a need for me to force any kind of shot. Like, there's always going to be another person open, and we're going to get an even better shot just by moving the ball. With Paige being day to day, I think we all definitely have to be a little more aggressive, look for our shots a little bit more, but still it's nothing out of like what we're good at, and we're still looking to find shots within ourselves.
Coach described you as one of the loudest leadership voices in the locker room right now. Just what was the process like for you of kind of coming into that, and how would you describe yourself as a leader?
I feel like I'm pretty loud on the court. Off the court, maybe a little less loud. But I think it's just something that Coach Ruby sort of helped me with the 4 years there. Like, she was constantly harping on us communicating and speaking all of practice. So I think it sort of became a habit there. And that part was easier to transfer over here. And then it was also just creating relationships with my teammates, and that's how you build trust.
How long did it take you to find your voice here? I mean, was it just through the summer and all of a sudden you felt comfortable as a leader, or is it kind of grown as the season's gone on?
I think it's sort of grown just because I've gotten closer with my teammates. And once again, like, when you're closer with them, then things are a lot easier for sure. But I think on the court, I've always been pretty vocal, but it's just like, again, with that comfortability, I feel like I can use my voice even more.
What was the reaction when you found out that the injury to Paige wasn't as serious as it could have been?
Great. I think that's what everyone's reaction was. Yeah. I think sort of sigh of relief. Yeah.
I mean, how happy are you for her? Because she's been through a lot of that stuff. You must
Yeah.
be thrilled for her that
Very
she's going to
happy.
be able to keep playing.
Definitely. Yeah.
Saw the team was at the Knicks game the other night, and Paige kind of gave you guys a little surprise, like post-Christmas present. Just talk about that experience.
I mean, just being at the Knicks game was awesome. First time in Madison Square Garden for me. So that was a lot of fun. And then I was not expecting the Christmas present at all. And as you can see, my phone is a little messed up. So very well-timed Christmas present for me. Yeah.
What
Just
are
been through it.
just like being more of like an older presence on a team with so much youth, like where do you kind of feel like you bring that, veteran presence or, older experience or just like mentality even off the court? Does it feel like sometimes like there's like a lot of young kids in you, or I mean, I know you have like Paige and Aubrey and stuff too, but how does that kind of dynamic go?
Sometimes a little bit. They definitely have a lot of energy. Yeah, but on the court, I feel like I just try to bring a little bit of experience and just be someone that they can like come to with questions and sort of just help them out on the court. Yeah.
And on that same note, like, how do you tell the younger kids, okay, we don't need you to come be Paige, but we need you to kind of step up a little bit? What message do you tell them?
I feel like Coach did a good job of sort of telling us all to just be ourselves. Like, we all bring something different to the table, so it's not like we're trying to replace her, but everyone just needs to bring a little bit more of what they're good at, and it all sort of just comes together well.
You talked about being more comfortable. As far as everything goes, the way you're playing, the comfortable part, on, off, whatever, from game 1 to game 15, where are you? We're at midway point of the regular season.
Oh, already? Nice. I think I'm getting more comfortable week to week. I feel like that's just something that you want to keep growing and like feel more comfortable. And hopefully by the end of the season, that's where I feel the most like me and the most like comfortable within our system, playing with my teammates. And that's where we're like at our peak. But we're obviously far from there, and which I think is a good thing. There's a lot of space for us to keep growing, which I'm looking forward to.
Are you happy with the way you've played?
Yeah. I feel like solid. Yeah.
Kaitlyn, when you come from Princeton, where you're relied on to do so much, and you come here, and how are you observing the game? Like, okay, I got to do a little bit. Like, how do you approach it? Because you don't have to be the go-to scorer. You don't have to have so much relied on upon you. Like, just talk about that adjustment to it all, and knowing that you have in your bag of tricks, if I have to score, I can score. There's got to
Yeah.
be confidence there.
Once again, it's just a lot of fun playing with such great players like Paige, Sarah, AZ, KK. Like, it just feels like they sort of know what I'm thinking, and I feel like we all play really well together. I feel like I can focus more on like little stuff like setting screens, getting my teammates open, especially like when you're playing alongside such great shooters, like whatever you can to give them like a little extra room, get them free for open shots. So like focusing on those little things, which honestly is a lot of fun.
I was gonna say, is that as rewarding as dropping 24 or something like that, or?
Yeah, when you really set a good screen and nail someone, good feeling.
You guys have had a lot of changes in the starting lineup, especially just over the last couple of weeks. What's the biggest challenge of just kind of adapting to the different personnel combinations you guys have had recently?
I feel like we do a good job in practice mixing up groups, and I feel like we're always playing with different people in practice. So when we get thrown into the games where it's a different starting lineup, like game to game, I feel like we do a pretty good job of adjusting and adapting to who we're playing with, knowing each other's strengths and knowing what we're good at. So I feel like we've done a solid job.
What is your leadership style on the court? Are you trying to direct people where they should be going? Are you trying to walk over to somebody and build up their confidence about a play that just happened? What's your style?
I feel like I'm pretty vocal on the court, but also just being there on the side, picking up my teammates, and always just being there for them, letting them know that, instilling confidence in them, because I feel like we have such great young players that sometimes forget how good they are, so reminding them of how good they are.
How do you fare in these trivia things that CD puts together? I think with an Ivy League degree, you've got to be right up there.
Honestly, not as good as you would think. Yeah, they sort of get me sometimes. But they're fun. We get really competitive for sure. Yeah.